Hi, Elaine. We're so glad you decided to come to Tribal Trails and tell us your story. And just to start out, can you tell us a little bit about, where you grew up and what your growing up years was like?
Sure. I was brought up in Smithers area,
Oh, yeah.
but my father, he was from the Carrier Nation, and that's around the Morristown area and Hagoket area. And my mom, she was from the Nass River Valley area, and they're known as the Niska Nation people. My parents met in Smithers, and then they eventually just fell in love, and then they started having children. I guess the first few years wasn't bad, but yeah, my parents, they had 6 children in about 4 years, 4.5 years, and I think they were only 25 or 26 years old at the time. In our growing up years, Dad would usually have jobs like working in a mining camps or logging industry, and Mom stayed home. But there was a lot of pain in my dad's heart, and there was a lot of pain in my mom's heart. And so when you get 2 people together that have a lot of pain in their hearts and they're not dealing with it, it's not a good thing. So what ended up happening a lot was for my dad to cover up a lot of the pain, he did a lot of drinking.
Oh, yeah.
And he wasn't home much. So he left my mom struggling to take care of 6 children. So that wasn't easy for her. Yeah. Because my dad didn't deal with the pain that was going on in his heart. There was a lot of rage in his heart and a lot of anger, and that's all I remember of my dad. Yeah, we were just scared of him. He wasn't the dad that would care for you and love you the way he should have. We were just always, I just remember always living in fear of him.
And so how did that affect you as you got into your teenage years?
By the time I was a teenager, I was starving for love, especially my father's love. He wouldn't tell me that I was good at school or that I was good at sports. He wouldn't acknowledge that when I was doing sports, that I was really good at it and he was proud of me and all that. I never heard that, and I longed that from him. But so through the teenage years, he decided to leave us.
Oh.
I was pretty young. I think I was 14 or 15, but basically my world fell apart again. As angry as he was and as it didn't matter, we still loved him. We just wanted him to be home. The funny thing about that, when Dad was home with us, even though he was angry and full of rage in the home, and as long as people knew that he was in our home, there would be no outsiders coming in and try to hurt us or take advantage of us.
So there was a bit of protection that way.
Yes, there was a bit of protection, but no sooner than he was gone and people knew that he moved away and all that, all these men started coming over.
Oh.
This one particular time, it was my dad's friend. He came over with the pizza and a case of beer, and he said he just wanted to spend time with my mom. Because of the way my dad used to treat my mom, I wasn't gonna leave my mom alone with this man. And then anyways, there came a time when my mom, she just passed out, and then I asked him to help me to pack her to the room, and he did, and then I was expecting him to leave, and then he instead just sat back on a chair in the kitchen chair there, And then he started saying to me, they were life words. And then he said something like, "Don't you know how beautiful you are?" And those were the very words I waited for my dad to say. But instead, this stranger was saying it to me. He just knew exactly what to say to me. Pretty soon, he had me sitting on his lap. And he says something like, "Has anybody ever told you how beautiful you are?" And he said, "I'll teach you how to make love to a man. And once you know how to make love to a man, no man will ever reject you." And then he says, "I'll show you how." He did end up sexually abusing me. After that experience, my innocence was gone. And my love for sports, my love for jogging, my love to play ball, my just wanting to go to school, all that was gone. Something changed. Just something terribly changed inside of me. And the worst part of it was I couldn't tell anybody.
Huh.
I never did share it with my family.
Oh, really?
No, because that shame just took right over.
But you, God, see the trouble of the afflicted. You consider their grief and take it in hand. The victims commit themselves to you. You are the helper of the fatherless.
I left school. I didn't care about school anymore. I didn't care about anything anymore. I left school, and then I just started getting in trouble with the law, getting into all kinds of trouble, drinking and just causing trouble in town with a lot of my friends. I hung around with a bunch of other kids that were broken like me, and all we did was just get into trouble. We didn't care.
Even though her father has left him, Elaine was still longing for his love. When she was around 18, she moved to Vancouver to be with her dad. She hoped to get the love and appreciation she longed for all her life.
But again, she experienced rejection. Being deeply disappointed and hurt, Elaine ended up on the streets for a while. She was looking for love in a one-night stand.
When she was back in her home area, she learned that she was pregnant. She didn't feel safe to talk to her family or friends and tried to deal with it on her own.
She ended up at a doctor who persuaded her to get an abortion. So she had to get back to a hospital in Vancouver. Elaine talked about her experience in this hospital.
And I just remember thinking, like, what are they going to do? I have no idea what they're going to do. And I wish I could talk to somebody. It was such a lonely time, a very lonely time. Anyways, something happened. My baby kicked me for the first time. And for the first time, I felt like my heart was alive. And I made up my mind. I said, no, I'm going to keep this baby. I don't care what Dad says. I don't care what Mom says. I don't care what the family says. I don't care. I don't care if it's just me and my baby against the world. Then it's just going to be me and my baby against the world.
Because your mother heart woke up.
It did. It really did. I was laying in bed there, and then I said, okay, I got to go look for my clothes. And I looked in the closet there, and I couldn't find my clothes. And I went down the hallway in each room looking for my clothes. I couldn't find it. And I was happy. I was really happy. I was ready to go. I don't know how long I was gone for, maybe 20 minutes or something, looking for my clothes. And then I was in one of the rooms, and actually I was walking down the hallway, just felt this arm come up behind me. And it was the nurse. And she said, where you been? Where you been? The doctor's looking for you. The doctor's looking for you. He wants you in that room now. And I said, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to go home. And You got to realize back then, I was only 18 and I was maybe like 110, 115 pounds at the most. And so this nurse overpowered me. And she grabbed me and she shuffled me down the hallway. And she brought me back to my bed and I said, no, I want to go home. They were forcing me back in that room and all that. I just felt my voice getting lower and lower and lower. And I was losing my voice. So I'm trying to get out of bed, and then she waves the doctor over, and they have all the stuff there for what they're going to do to me. And I'm trying to stop them. I have no voice no more at that point. I'm just going like this, no. And so what happened was the one held my one arm back and the doctor held the other one back. And the nurse pulled up my gown and they had a big long needle and they forced it into me. I felt something that I had never felt before. That cold, cold death. I sensed it, like right away. Something wasn't right. The doctor and the nurse, they had this big smile on their face and they left. They took my baby away. I also felt my heart shutting down. I just felt so alone and that nobody cared for me.
For my days vanish like smoke. My bones burn like glowing embers. My heart is blighted and withered like grass. I forget to eat my food. In my distress I groan aloud and am reduced to skin and bones.
After the doctor and nurse left, one of them explained to me what was going to happen, but I don't remember what they said or anything. I just remember just laying in bed, just being in shock. And they left me alone for hours and hours. I felt some labor pains, and I felt I needed to go to the washroom. So I went to the washroom. The next thing I know, I felt something go through my body. And all I heard was like a little plop. And I said, what was that? And then I stood up. I turned around and I seen my dead baby in the toilet bowl.
Oh,
He was a boy. I just remember looking down at him and telling him, I'm sorry, I tried to save you, but they wouldn't let me save you. And I just remember, next thing I know, this nurse came from behind me and she shoved me. And she was mad at me and she said, what did you do? And I didn't say anything to her. She just took the baby out of the toilet bowl. And then she walked away with him. And that was the last time I saw him. The next memory that I have, I don't remember leaving the hospital or anything after that, but the next memory that I have was I was standing by the bus stop, the city bus stop, and I made a vow. And I said, nobody is ever going to hurt me like that again. I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. And I'll do what I can to protect myself. I don't care who you are. I don't care. I don't care about life. I don't care about you. I don't care. If I hurt you, good. I'm happy.
Elaine was deeply hurt and confused. She got into a lot of drinking to numb her pain and realized that the alcohol was the comforter for her hurts. She didn't care about her life or anything else.
Elaine's relationships were often short, but when one man wanted to stay, she thought she was pregnant again, so she pushed this man out of her life.
So I went to the doctor again, that same doctor. And then this time he just said, well, we have to send you to Vancouver again because now you're too early. But this time, like I said, I have a harder heart. And I was willing to go there and abort this baby willfully. Again, I went back to my same pattern. I went back to drinking, numbing it. But this time, with this one, I felt more guilt and I felt more shame. For some reason, with that second baby, I stuffed it down more. It was just like I didn't want to have nothing to do with that baby, ever.
In a world of hurting people that don't know where to go, some would like to help them, some just don't know what it's like to feel the pain that wounds of sin have brought along. Like a boy that don't know his daddy, 'cause a marriage has gone wrong. Some think they could end it, take their life with their own hands. Hearts so full of questions, a life that makes no sense. Others drown their sorrow, bottles where they hide, hoping to quench the thirst of their pain deep inside. But Jesus knows your pain. His love is reaching out to you. You are the reason he came. Just take his hand. He will lead you through.
Then it wasn't until about, say maybe a year later, I started getting into another relationship with another man. He wanted me to live with him. I don't know why, even though I didn't love him or anything, I don't know why I agreed to it, but I agreed to it. So I ended up moving from Smithers to Burns Lake and started living with him for about a year. And all we did was drink that whole year. Like, yeah, I just felt like we're just drinking buddies. That's all we were. And but then he started saying, you know what, I really do care for you. I really do love you and all that. And I said, no, I don't want you to care for me. I don't want you to love me. I don't deserve to be loved. He wanted to start a family. There were just a lot of mixed emotions right there as soon as he said that, because, you know, he doesn't know anything about my past. And I wasn't going to tell him anything, because that was a vow I made. I'm not going to tell anybody about my babies. I did end up getting pregnant again, but this time I stayed in relationship with the father. The first baby was a son. And then we had another child about 2 years later, another son. And you know, I'm supposed to be happy. I have 2 little babies now, but I'm not happy. Like, I don't understand why I have these babies. I just remember feeling really, really confused about that. It was just like I loved my sons, but I didn't know how to express it to them. And then pretty soon they would feel the anger, the rage that was inside of me. So I was in a relationship with the father of my sons. We were together for about 10 years. Still did a lot of drinking and stuff like that. But it was during that time when I felt God started pursuing my heart. And I remember, like, why would he love me? Even though I went to Bible camp, Native Bible Kids camp in it back then, I just knew about him. And I just remember them saying he was a God who loves. And I said, no, he can't love me.
The Lord said, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have drawn you with loving kindness. I will build you up again, and you will be rebuilt.
The missionary couple that was there during the Bible camp days, they ended up living in Morristown. And they started asking them questions about God and who he is, and so they started explaining to me about salvation. And it took me a long time to understand it, but once I understood it, I understood the sinner that I was. Even way back when I was a kid at a kids' Bible camp, I just remembered his love, and I just remembered I wanted to be in his love. There just came a time when the Lord was just pursuing after me, and I just remember listening to the radio. It was a Back to the Bible program, and I forget what the message was about, but he gave an invitation of accepting Jesus into my life. And so I was in my bedroom, and I got on my knees, and I asked Jesus to come into my life.
So when you prayed that prayer, what did that mean to you?
That at that time, that I was God's child, and just the sacrifice that he made on the cross for me, and yeah, just like I understood that I was a sinner. So after that, I told my spouse at the time what I had done, and then he was not happy about it at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were having troubles in our relationship. Anyways, I remember praying. I remember that's when I was just trying to learn to pray. And I said, well, Lord, you have to show me. Do I stay with this man, or do you want me to leave? And God made it very clear for me to leave with our sons.
So were you married at that time, or?
No, just common law.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so ever since that time, yeah, I've never been in another relationship. And so anyways, yeah, I end up leaving him. It was just not a healthy home, and I was concerned for my boys, and yeah, so that was my journey of starting to walk with the Lord and to know the Lord.
In her life, Elaine experienced a lot of violation, hurts, and confusion. She never had the feeling of being loved and accepted, even though she was longing for a loving and caring person.
Her parents couldn't give her the love she was longing for because they never dealt with their own hurts. The relationships in her life didn't give her the love and care she needed. Even her children couldn't give her the meaning she needed.
But in all of this, she met God, and He worked in a very special way to show her the love that she really needed. Love that was willing to sacrifice for her life.
That was so amazing for her that she committed her life to the Lord. Maybe you are in a similar situation and God is speaking to your heart. Let us know. We would love to hear from you and help you get to know Jesus Christ.
On a hill called Calvary, they crucified a man. He should not have suffered. He had no sin. But so many hurting people were depending on His grace. So on a cross meant for you and me, Jesus took our place. But Jesus knows your pain. His love is reaching out to you. You are the reason He came. Just take His hand. He will lead you through. But Jesus knows your pain. His love is reaching out to you. You are the reason He came. Just take His hand. He will lead you through. He will lead you through.